This weekend on the original Rochester Press Box presented by the Genesee Brew House.
I'm Brother Wease, and I'm going to tell you why I stick with my Rex Ryan. He's a dude, and we're going to play FanDuel no matter what they say.
And I'm John DiTullio. Maybe it's time for some new turf.
And I'm Mike Catalana. Maybe you should admit the mistake before you get a second chance.
And I'm Bill Pucko. It's Aquinas against the world again. Join us this weekend on the original Rochester Press Box presented by the Genesee Brew House. The Brew House was created to capture and share with you the long history of the Genesee Brewery. But the brewery itself isn't half as interesting as the beer and the people who make it. Visit GeneseeBrewHouse.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome into the original Rochester Press Box, presented by the mighty Genesee Brew House. I'm Bill Pucko, joined as always by John DiTullio, Fox 1280 Sports.
Such a thrill to be here, Billy. Really is.
Co-anchoring with me here by Catalana from 13 WHAM News.
It's great to have John back.
It is great to have John back.
1 week I was off, that's it.
And a special return appearance by the great Brother Wease.
Yes.
You know,
Thank you. Well, let me just tell you, without me, he's not here today. I had to get him out of a meeting.
He
would
did.
have missed him for 2 weeks.
The boss.
Really do appreciate that.
My boss
Look,
got me out
Wease,
of a
we got a
meeting.
couple of wheelhouse topics for you here, so we're going to get right into them. First, the New York State Attorney General has deemed that DraftKings and FanDuel constitute illegal gambling. He's trying to ban them. What do you think?
Well, what I think is it's absolutely gambling. Let's call a spade. But it's funny that New York State, who, as far as I'm concerned, are gamblers. They sell these tickets to poor people, telling them with $1 and a dream they can become rich. Pretty sure it's gambling. It sure ain't a game of skill. I got a quick pick in my pocket. So they sell lottery tickets to everybody, and yet they deem this bad. The fact of this matter is they want their piece of the action. It's like the mafia. Back in the old days, to be a bookmaker taking bets, you gave the mafia a little juice, and you were a bookmaker. As soon as they get their juice, you'll be able to do FanDuel.
And we all thought that they kind of like slid in through the side door, but you know, the New York State now is one of 7 states that's taken a second look at these companies and saying, I don't know that we like them.
Wease is 1,000% right. New York State wants their money. It's disingenuous. It's the way they are. The way they got in the side doors, the leagues embraced it.
Yes.
They are all for it because it is different in this way. I don't think you have the worry of altering the competition of the game, right? We've talked about this before. They worry about gambling and involving their teams because a guy could throw a game or whatever. I don't think you're doing that. So the leagues embrace it, and look how much they embrace it. They're sponsoring all over the place. Well, London is different, but there's signs all over the place when we were in London for the game. New York State wants their money just like everybody else wants their money, and when they figure out a way to get it, all of a sudden it'll be okay.
If it's deemed a gambling website, which I'm with Weeze, I think there's some skill involved, and there's no doubt it's gambling. The NFL has got to distance themselves, don't they? How can you be in bed with a gambling website?
It is the one league that isn't officially part of it.
They have stiff-armed, and here's another thing. We were talking earlier. They were kind of their own enemy with all the advertising that they did. They kind of just threw it in America's face, FanDuel and DraftKings.com. And let's face it, the last year or so, I don't think half of this town or people watching the show knew who DraftKings or FanDuel was. They're spending $150 million with
and they've been around
alone.
since 2009.
Yep.
Yeah, is this part of a bigger solution? I mean, is this all coming to a head now so that the country as a whole has got to deal with the whole idea of gambling and let's let our citizens do it?
Well, you can drive across the border in Canada. I don't know if you guys know this, and bet football at 7-Eleven. That's a fact. Obviously, in England, you can bet on anything. It's got to be coming here. As long as the government gets their juice, it's in the future. But this whole thing is crazy, and the funniest part of it is what John just said. They would still be under the radar, but they spent $80 million and assaulted everybody.
They carpet bombed
Yeah.
advertising. It was like,
God, and don't you, I said, if they exist, fine. I just hate the commercials. I wish the commercials would go away. I don't like any of the guys in the commercial. I don't like the way they do. They say actor portrayal or something that they, or non-actor. I want the commercials to go away.
They show some guy that won $60 grand. hooking
But
you.
to their point, that guy, they talk about, there's a small percentage of people that are winning a lot of money, which tells you it is a game of skill. If you play DraftKings against your mother, you're going to beat her more often than not.
I would
but
think.
go head to head with a lottery
I would
ticket,
hope.
it's a whole different
But it's
game.
both. It's skill and gambling. I think it's a combo platter. But Wease is right. They want their money. They got to pay a gambling fee or gambling license.
Bothers me is the Attorney General brought up this is not a victimless crime.
They want their money.
Yeah, that's all.
They want their money. And your point about the NFL will find a way to tie themselves to it, even if they have to create their own leagues and make some
That might
differentiation.
come.
Yeah, something that'll be different,
It
that'll
will.
change it enough to keep it away from being gambling, and they'll make money on it because they make money on everything.
If there's a buck out there, they'll grab it.
Absolutely.
This is the original Rochester Press Box presented by the mighty Genesee Brew House, and we'll be back. The Hillside Family of Agencies works with youth and families on their own terms, helping them pursue their own goals, whether at home, work, school, or one of the Hillside campuses, offering encouragement and commitment, standing with families, helping to create a healthy future. The Buffalo Bills Quote of the Week was brought to you by the Rochester Geico Office. Give the Rochester Geico team a chance to see how much you could save on all your insurance needs. Call or stop by the office on West Henrietta Road, open Monday through Saturday. Our Quote of the Week brought to you by Geico Rochester. Seems like it's Rex Ryan every week. John, what do you think?
It's the biggest non-story of the week, as far as I'm concerned. No one cared when Richie Incognito was the captain last week, right? It's just Rex being Rex. But to me, this is the biggest non-story of the week.
Very good. This portion of the original Rochester Press Box presented by the Genesee Brew House is brought to you by the Hillside Family of Agencies. Football time. Look, the Bills are going to have played.
Yeah.
They're not now, but they will have played when this airs. So we have the opportunity to look either really smart or really bad against the Jets on Thursday. What do you think?
Yeah, some parts of this game I really liked, and some parts I just thought were. Oh no, I'm sorry. I figured that would work no matter what we were talking about. This is one of those games. As Thursday games are strange. As everybody who's watching this now knows, there's be some sloppy plays. I just don't like the Thursday football. In the beginning of the week, I thought, boy, the Bills are in a little trouble down there going against them. But man, the Jets are more banged up than the Bills are. Any injuries that could really hurt them. We'll know by now whether Nick Mangold made it through the whole game. Yeah. Cromartie is banged up. They have a lot of injuries. Who knows if Fitz makes it through the game. I don't normally like the Bills on the road, and I think the intangibles go the way of the Jets. But I'm taking the Bills to win by a field goal. I got them winning this game ugly.
Mike's right. The Bills are healthier than the Jets, and I trust Tyrod Taylor more than I trust Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzy will do what we've known for 4 years. He will make a Fitzy play and will cost the Jets the game. I like Tyrod Taylor and the Bills. I think this game is set up for the Bills to win.
Yeah, I was going to say one other quick thing about Fitz. By the time this airs, he'll have had his surgery too.
Yes,
because I think it's scheduled for Friday after the game.
Can they run the ball against the top-ranked rush defense? That to me is to me that's the game.
Wease, after the fact, who do you like?
Well, after the fact, I hate going with the crew, and I usually bet the Bills every week to ensure a victory. I mean, I usually bet
Only for
against
recreation purposes.
Right.
No, I'm gambling. I'm gambling because Schneiderman gave me a pass.
Oh, okay.
You don't want him coming after you.
I'm actually gambling, and I usually bet against the Bills, to help the Bills win. But I love to bet the Bills this week. I love the Bills +3 for all the reasons you experts said. That's all.
I take the home team. I like the Jets. Wease, give me another game.
I like New England against the Gents. We used to call them in the old days the Giants, mostly because I hate the Giants. And I'm a big Tom Brady fan. I used to go out with his wife before he met her, a long time ago. But I like New England.
You want to tell more about that? Do you have to really?
It's a personal. I usually keep secrets.
Yeah,
but
like you just did.
New England. Who doesn't love New England? To bet New England, except all the haters. One touchdown against the Giants in New York.
What do you think? Another game.
This is an ugly game. I'm going to take the Bears plus the points against the Rams. The last number I saw was around 6 or 7.5 points. The Rams are very good defense. They shouldn't be laying points that much to anybody. Their offense is Gurley and nothing else beyond it.
Gurley.
I'm putting the money on Jay Cutler, but I'll take him with the points. Probably lose a close game.
11-5 against the spread. He's the
Wow,
as far
look
as,
at Mike.
Look at that.
He's leading the league right now. What do you got, John? 8-8.
Wow. I won it last year. He never brings that up, Wease, that I won it last year. But I will remind the listeners.
Well, that proves
and
that
the
it's
viewers.
a game of skill then, right? To pick these
I
games.
want to take New England, but just to be different, I'm going to take my Packers. They play 2 undefeated teams back-to-back. What's the perfect Robitussin for a team that has struggled? The Detroit Lions, who they haven't lost to at home in 24 years. I'll lay the 11 and take the Packers.
You know, that's so funny because I'm a schmuck. I don't know this. I swear to God, that was my other pick.
They will murder Detroit.
Yeah, I'm playing the same kind of dynamic here. I'm going to play against Carolina because I've had 2 big games in a row. They're going to Tennessee. Tennessee's getting 4.5. I'll play the Titans.
Wow.
What's your record, Bill?
5-9.
I didn't even know that. 5-11? Okay.
And
Just
how
wanted
about
to make
that
sure.
pick? That's the wackiest pick I've heard.
Wacky.
Yeah, but you wait. This
Okay.
portion of the original Rochester Press Box has been brought to you by our friends at the Hillside Family of Agencies, who are doing quite well with their picks, too, by the way. This week's Hillside Family of Agencies NFL picks will be made by the Hillside Adoption Services Program, led by Lisa Maynard, the Director of Adoption Services, and her staff, Barb Borick, Karen Kelly, Ellen Fazio, and Marty Cardona. They picked Buffalo versus the New York Jets. Buffalo getting 3 points, and the second NFL game of choice is Green Bay giving 11 to Detroit. We'll be back with Like It or Not. As we go to break, it is time for the Turnbull Heating and Air Conditioning Trivia Question of the Week. When you're searching for a local heating and air conditioning contractor, look no further than one of the most reliable teams in the area at Turnbull Heating and Air Conditioning. Is called Turnbull at 343-2005. As we come back from the break, time for the answer to the Turnbull Heating and Air Conditioning Trivia Question of the Week. When you're searching for a local heating and air conditioning contractor, look no further than one of the most reliable teams in the area at Turnbull Heating and Air Conditioning. Just call 343-2005. See New York in a whole new way. Amtrak is offering a 15% discount for all travel inside New York State and to Montreal. Visit Amtrak.com for the See New York discount. Safe, comfortable, affordable, and easy. Amtrak. Enjoy the journey. Welcome back to the original Rochester Press Box, presented by the mighty Genesee Brew House. This portion of the Press Box is brought to you by Amtrak Trains. Enjoy the journey, especially through New York State. Like it or not, John, the public schools are taking up against the privates.
Listen, Buffalo does it. I don't like it. I would like to see all the private schools partake. Yeah, I said some things this week where I called some certain parents babies about this whole situation, because I think the whole thing is basically about Aquinas. It's not about Mercy. It's not about Batavia, Notre Dame. This is about the success that Aquinas has had. Nobody else complains about Pittsburgh having just one football team when Webster is split. I think you even brought up this week that they could sue the private schools so they would be able to partake in Section 5's playoffs. The problem is, if they're not allowed, who the hell are they going to play? Who are they playing? How many private schools are there for them to play during the regular season? Are you going to play them in the regular season but not in the playoffs? Makes no sense. Or they got to drive down the thruway in mid-January when it's 40 below and you've got how many feet of snow? I hate this. I'm in favor. I've always believed, I'm going to talk about it at the end, good programs recruit themselves. Players, coaches don't recruit players. Players recruit programs. And that applies at 18. That applies at 22. That applies at Harvard. Great institutions recruit themselves. Coaches don't recruit players.
This issue has stood the test of time, Mike. It's been around forever, it seems.
It's a great point, except the issue has changed. I think years ago it was a much more simple issue.
Yeah.
There were public school kids, stayed in their district, and they played. Private school kids, and the schools recruited. I had 2 daughters who went to Mercy, full disclosure. Neither one played sports at Mercy, okay? They were there. They were recruited to go to school there. So let's keep this premise in mind. Private schools recruit all of their students. And when I say recruited, they give a pitch. You got to come to our school. Otherwise, they would have gone to Rush Henrietta for their high school. We chose to send them to Catholic school.
And Mercy would have dried up.
Well,
they all would have dried up.
And then keep in mind, this is the other part of it. But when I say years ago, it was simple. Now, if you don't believe that public school kids don't transfer from public school to public school because of sports, they don't find a way to get from one school to another, there aren't recruiting efforts made by public schools against other public schools, then you are being naive. So the idea that it's such a simple thing, the private schools recruit and the public schools don't, it's not. I understand why people get frustrated, but it really isn't as simple as some people like to make it.
Wease, like it or not, the Missouri football team helped oust the president of the university.
They completely ousted the president of the university. Absolutely, 100%.
Like it or not, college activism. It's right up your alley.
You're right, and that's why I hate to talk about it to this major audience, because I'm on the wrong team.
There's no wrong or right team.
Well,
you're on your team, period.
I'm on my team, and my team is the minority, and I think that there's a take that you might not be aware of. I saw a great article, a great essay by a man of color talking about these major schools, and Mizzou is a major school. It's not the champ. They make millions of dollars on black labor. Now, people watching this show don't want to think of it that way. They don't think playing football is labor. But when you're helping somebody make money for nothing, that's where the money's coming from. So the fact that they have that little bit of power in this instance, look what it did. Now, people from the opposite side of the political coin from me are all going crazy since this, going, whoa, this is just the beginning. Now black athletes all across the country are going to do whatever they want. A little extreme in my mind.
A little bit. All right, Wease, thank you very much.
Well,
Nice.
I go long, you don't need to hear all that. And, I'm at risk here because I'm pretty sure this is not the general opinion. It's the opinion of people that cared, that did what they did at Missouri.
This portion of the original Rochester Press Box brought to you by Amtrak Trains. Enjoy the journey. Unfinished Business is next. The Rochester Press Box Stat of the Week, brought to you by Cariglio's Pizza, with 5 locations serving the Rochester area. Visit carigliospizza.com today. Introducing Dunkin's new sweet black pepper bacon sandwich with double the slices of caramelized crispy pepper bacon. It is the bacon experience you've been waiting for. Bacon up! America runs on Dunkin'. Welcome back to the original Rochester Press Box, presented by the mighty Genesee Brew House. This portion of the Press Box brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. So does John. Start us off.
If I had a dime for every time a coach told me how bad Salem Stadium is, well, then I wouldn't need to do Billy's show. You like that, Billy? The Section 5 playoffs are being played at Salem Stadium, and from what I was told, the turf is not suitable for not only high school football, but just sports in general, which got me thinking about how poor our facilities are. If you've ever been to the Blue Cross Arena, watched the Nighthawks, and when the Lancers were playing, turf is awful. I've been to Salem Stadium. I've seen the turf. It's terrible. Kids have complained about it. Yet it is a cheap venue which Section 5 can afford. Favre Stadium, the campus of UVR, kind of priced itself out of playing Section 5 playoff games there. Then there's the scoreboard issue. If you've ever seen the video board at Salem Stadium, it has chicken pox. What I mean by that, there's red dots all over the scoreboard. The city is yet to rectify this issue. It's been 2 years now since if you've gone to a game at Salem Stadium and you want to watch a video replay, good luck. Bring your phone. You won't be able to see it on the video board. It's an absolute joke. Between that and the Blue Cross Arena, other than Frontier Field, we do not have, to me, a suitable big-time venue here in town. It's too bad.
Yeah, games have been great. It is too bad. Wease, what do you got?
Geez, there's so many things to talk about, but I want to go back to something John was talking about earlier, and it was my friend Rex Ryan. You made fun of him for the Clemson helmet and the thing with the
Yes, I
IK.
did. Yes.
Personally, I'm once again on a different team than these smart guys. I like a guy doing a show because I want to be entertained. As much as you guys see sports as religion, I see it as entertainment. And the more entertaining I get, Stevie Johnson saying Happy New Year, anything. Randy Moss, I liked all the showmen. And the kids, the Rex Ryan's son plays for Clemson. He had an opportunity to throw the helmet on. And the IK, you said it was a non-story, but the business you're in, sports talk, they all talked about it because he created a story with IK, and I find it entertaining. And right now we're on TV after the fact. I hope the Bills kicked some tushy.
All right, Wease. Mike?
Speaking of the NFL, I watched Greg Hardy play Sunday night against my Eagles in the game. And, of course, I enjoyed seeing him lose and seeing the team lose. But a lot of times when I hear people try in some way to stick up for Greg Hardy, they'll use this phrase about second chances, and everybody deserves second chances. And what we're seeing play out in the NFL is the idea that that doesn't seem to equate. Ray Rice sits at home. Ray Rice did a horrific thing. But since that moment, when Ray Rice did that horrific thing, in my opinion, he has done everything right. He's apologized. He's been contrite. He's attempted to do that. But no one has gotten near him to bring him back in the NFL. Greg Hardy, yes, he sat out a season and got paid and had a relatively small suspension, but he hasn't really paid for it. He hasn't been contrite in one bit. And in fact, his Twitter handle this past week said, innocent until proven guilty. I believe he was actually originally proven guilty in the court for the first time. I don't like Greg Hardy. I hope he loses every game. I guess he has the right to still play in the game because he hasn't been banned, but it sure was nice seeing him get beat Sunday night.
This portion of the original Rochester Press Box was brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. We thank you all for watching. John, thanks.
Good stuff, Billy. Good show today.
Good show. Great topic.
We should have gone an hour. We could have gone an hour today.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Wease, always a pleasure.
Good time. Sorry for...
Oh, you have nothing to apologize for. You're getting too defensive in your old age, man.
No. I get beat up too much.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week at the original Rochester Press Box.